3 suspected drug traffickers arrested, the debate on transgender restrooms, and what to look forward to this weekend in sports.
You're watching St. George News at 5.
Good afternoon, I'm Christy Langenheim. 3 alleged drug traffickers were arrested Sunday in Iron County in 2 separate incidents. The first was a traffic stop that led to the discovery of 14 pounds of meth inside the vehicle. Officers estimated that the street value was around $325,000 of methamphetamine. 29-year-old Velvet Britson and 33-year-old Christian Gonzalez were arrested and booked into Iron County Jail, and each facing 1 felony count of possession in a controlled substance with the intent to distribute. In an unrelated case, just 2 days later, 20-year-old Skylar Johnson Avalos was pulled over for a suspected window tint violation just north of Cedar City. Upon searching the vehicle, police found approximately 35 pounds of marijuana in the trunk of the car, along with $22,000 in cash. Avalos is being held on suspicion of possession of a controlled substance with the intent to distribute and money laundering. He also faces charges related to the possession of drugs and paraphernalia, as well as the window tint violation and infraction. In legislative news, Utah's Constitutional Sovereignty Act has advanced in the legislature. Maury Kessler has the report on the House committee meeting and what this bill means for Utah.
Senate Bill 57, titled the Utah Constitutional Sovereignty Act, means to create a process by which Utah can respond to federal directives the legislature considers unconstitutional. Senator Scott Sandel, the bill's sponsor, says SB 57 will allow lawmakers to propose a resolution to address questionable federal policy, and that once thoroughly vetted and ultimately signed by the governor, would direct state agencies not to comply with the federal policy until such a time as when a court ruled for or against it. Once created, the resolution would go through the regular legislative process and ultimately require the signature of the governor should it reach that point. During a House committee hearing held Wednesday, Sandel gave an example of how the process proposed by SB 57 could have recently been used.
The ozone transport rule that was recently overturned by the court system. We spent millions of dollars in private industry, and we spent countless hours in the state looking to ways we were going to comply with that. At the same time a lawsuit was filed, we joined in a lawsuit with other states. We prevailed, but we spent millions of dollars and hundreds of hours meaninglessly in something that we felt completely that would be overturned. This moves the presumption on those kind of issues.
SB 57 passed the Senate before reaching the House committee and now moves toward the House floor for consideration.
Thanks, Maury. There's a clash of perspectives over a bill for transgender restroom access in Utah. Here's Chris Reed with more on the bill and what both sides are proclaiming.
The debate over bills currently in the state legislature on when and whether transgender individuals can access public restrooms extends into southern Utah. On one side is Jamie Mitchell, the founder and head of a St. George accounting firm, who says being transgender is not a choice and a person who presents as female should be able to go into a woman's restroom and vice versa. On the other side is Patricia Kent, head of the Liberty Action Coalition, who says people are transgender by choice, and someone who was assigned as male at birth should still use a men's bathroom even if they have transitioned and now identify as female. The bill has now passed the Utah House, and a revised version is halfway to passage in the Senate.
Thanks, Chris. And now I'm going to send it over to Sheldon and Amy to give us a breakdown of what's going on this weekend in southern Utah.
That's right, many great events happening this weekend.
You don't want to miss it. Mesquite Hot Air Balloon Festival is happening in Mesquite.
It's going to be so great. And there's going to be live music there. You have to take your whole family to the Hot Air Balloon Festival in Mesquite. It's so great. Also, something great happening at the Electric Theater.
Yeah, you ready for some comedy? Get ready to laugh your little tushy off.
I love laughing. And there's so many more things happening. And to see the full list of weekend events, check out our TGIF listing on stgeorgenews.com. Now back to you in the studio.
Thanks, guys. Southern Utah's STEM Awards are seeking nominations to honor educators and businesses dedicated to promoting local science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. The recipients of the awards will receive resources to help them in the classroom, as well as stipends, association memberships, and a bag full of goodies that will be gifted from the local sponsors. Nominations are now open and will close February 29th. If you'd like to nominate someone, visit the St. George News website, click the link at the bottom of the article, and join us in celebrating those who are shaping the future of STEM education in southern Utah. And speaking of celebrating, this week is Hope Week, and Washington County School District is celebrating by holding some fun events to teach the students about kindness and friendship. Here's Bridger Palmer with more on Hope Week.
Washington County School District is in the midst of Hope Week, a 5-day event where each day students pre-K through 5th participate in activities that foster team spirit and friendship, among other positive characteristics, from January 22nd to January 26th. Each day has a different theme. Monday is always root for each other. Tuesday is Buddy Day, you're never alone. Wednesday will be Past Mistakes, No S'mores. Thursday is all about spreading kindness with Color Your World with Kindness Day. On Friday, each grade will wear a different color, pre-K through 5th, with Dream of a World with Kindness Day.
Thanks, Bridger. And now I'm going to send it over to Aaron Crane to give us a breakdown of what's going on the rest of this week in sports.
Thanks, Christy. Tonight we've got some great Region 9 girls basketball, starting up north with Hurricane at Cedar. The Reds are 4-2 in the region, and the Tigers are just behind them at 3-3. It should be a great game as these two teams have met earlier this season, and the Reds pulled out a 1-point victory. Dixie's headed to Crimson Cliffs, and the Flyers are looking to poke their heads above 500, and the Mustangs are hungry for their first win. And the last game tonight is Desert Hills at Pineview. The Thunder are currently sitting at 3-3 and coming off a 17-point loss to Snow Canyon in their last matchup. And the Panthers' last game ended in a 6-point loss to Hurricane. Both teams are trying to get back on track with a win tonight. We also have some great college basketball tonight with Utah Tech men's and women's matchup against Abilene Christian. The men's team is on the road and the game starts at 6 o'clock, and the women's team plays at home at 7. And then on Friday, we have a bunch of Region 9 boys basketball games to send you right into the weekend. Crimson Cliffs is headed to Dixie, and these two teams have met twice already this season, and the Flyers won both of those games. The Mustangs are looking to get back at the Flyers by pulling off a region win on Friday night. Cedar is heading to Hurricane as the Tigers are still searching for their first region win. These two teams have already met once this season, and the Reds were able to pull off a win 65-56. And the game of the week goes to Pineview at Desert Hills. This game should be great as the Panthers are coming off a season-high scoring performance against Hurricane, where they had 92 points in the win over the Tigers. And the Thunder are hungry for a win as they are on a 3-game losing streak. These two teams have already played this season, and the Panthers got the best of them, winning 73-58. That's one you're going to want to tune into Friday night as the Thunder are seeking their revenge over the Panthers. Now back to you, Christy.
Thank you for watching St. George News at 5. I'm Christy Langenheim with St. George News, your #1 source for local news.
This has been St. George News at 5.